that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing, said philosopher Edmund Burke. Never was that more evident than during the Srebrenica Massacre, when the world sat back and allowed the slaughter of thousands of Bosnian Muslim men and boys in what was considered to be a United Nations safe area. Over just 1 week in July 1995, Serb paramilitary forces under the command of General Ratko Mladić systematically murdered close to a quarter of the 40,000-strong Bosnian Muslim population. Soldiers and civilians, men and boys, were stripped of their personal identification and belongings and executed, their bodies hidden in secret mass graves. No one knows exactly how many people died in Srebrenica. Mass graves are still being uncovered, and forensic experts examine the remains and attempt to identify the bodies. It was the worst European atrocity since World War II and led to worldwide condemnation. But questions were raised about why the 600 Dutch peacekeepers in the area were unable to do more to help the Bosnian Muslims, and why NATO aircraft could not provide the UN peacekeepers with better air support. By the end of the conflict, the entire Muslim population of Srebrenica had been deported or murdered by Serb forces. The International Court of Justice later classified the atrocity as an act of genocide. 10 years on, thousands of people attended a ceremony at Potokari Cemetery in Srebrenica to remember the victims of the massacre. 600 newly identified dead were to be buried after the formal commemorations. Amongst the mourners was British Foreign Secretary Jack Straw.
For it is to the shame of the international community that this evil took place under our noses, and we did nothing like enough. I bitterly regret this, and I am deeply sorry for it.
But the Foreign Secretary looked to the future and said a lasting peace between the different communities in the Balkans could be established.
Tragically, ethnic hatred, mistrust, and intolerance has long thrived too much in this region, and we have to create a lasting peace here by building mutual trust and understanding. That has to have a twin foundation. First, justice. Second, a shared future.
A nakon toga I od zajedničke dijeljene budućnosti.
Now, history has shown us that former enemies, however terrible the conflicts, can be brought together.
2 Serb officers involved in the massacre have been jailed, convicted of aiding and abetting genocide and of crimes against humanity. Serb President Slobodan Milosevic was also tried on similar charges, but died during the trial, so a verdict was not reached. Meanwhile, at the remembrance ceremony, Muslim prayers echoed throughout the valley, a solemn and moving reminder that while what happened in the past will never be forgotten, now is also the time to rebuild and respond to the calls for a long, lasting peace.